Today we're going to talk about the one thing that stops more people than anything else I know. And people don't talk about it much, but it's this sort of silent killer, and it's called discouragement. So you set out to do something, you want to do something great, make something wonderful in the world, and 3 weeks into the process, you get discouraged and you stop. And you're stopped because of a feeling. So today, we're going to identify the deeper feeling underneath that and show you how to start dealing with discouragement. So, discouragement has another name, and it's the name I like to use for this. Discouragement is one of these sort of nice words that we use. Like when you say, I'm annoyed with this person or I'm irritated, that's a sort of polite word we use in our society. It's a cover-up word that really means I'm angry. And when we talk about discouragement, we're talking about hopelessness. We feel hopeless that this is ever going to happen. And this is a much deeper issue. If you look at where you stopped when you gave up because you felt like this is never really going to happen. And this hopelessness is this very deep, thick, rich, and robust disease that almost all of us deal with. And so learning how to handle discouragement and to keep moving forward toward your goals is a really important thing to learn. To be able to spot it so that you can see it and not let it undo you. Because, hopelessness and discouragement are always a lie. They're not telling you the truth. And it's part of your ego's plan to pull you back down into this safe place. Remember, the ego, which is part of the body's system, is a survival mechanism. It's trying to keep you safe at all costs. That's where it wants you. Safe and protected in your familiar, the emotions of your familiar family environment. That's the sweet spot. So if you were frustrated and angry as a child, boom, you're going to have events in your life that bring you back to angry and frustrated. And you won't notice it. It'll be your wife is doing something that's driving you crazy, whatever it is, but that's what's being recreated. And you're just enduring the same thing, and it looks like an entirely different situation. So you don't catch up onto it, that you're just reliving the same trauma over and over again, Groundhog Day style. So for me, discouragement was, I look back now, and I think it was like one of the biggest deals in my life that I didn't realize. It was the thing that stopped me from becoming the filmmaker in the way that I wanted to be. It stopped me from taking the actions that would result in me getting there. It froze me, it paralyzed me. And the discouragement, which was hopelessness, it sucked all the energy out of me. When I went to do the things that I wanted to do, I felt tired. It felt weighty. It felt too hard. I just needed to stop and give up, and that was the best solution. And of course, it wasn't the best solution. It was a very painful solution that led to me not doing the things in my life that I cared about the most. Since then, I've become a professional director, so I've moved through some of that, and I'm still on that journey. And I've really been working with this hopelessness a lot recently. And the root of the hopelessness seems to be this, I can't do it, I'm not good enough, I'm not strong enough. Those are the energies that I'm working with right now. So you hear me saying working with, and that's what we want to start to do. So if you're working toward a goal, then by the very definition of working toward a goal, you're taking consistent actions and building improvements, which a lot of what we do here is talking about that. The new tagline for this channel is success through higher consciousness, right? So, and to build any kind of success, you have to keep taking consistent actions that build upon each other until you have something. And of course, the ego is famous for tearing that all down. And once we reach this sort of magic point of our sort of thermostat level, that's when the ego says, okay, let's pull the plug on this. So for me, in my recent history, I won money as a pickleball player for the first time. So I'm like, yes, some semi-pro action. And my knee immediately got hurt, and now I've been out for a month. So I look at that and I go, coincidence? I don't think so. It's like my body has this story and idea that I'm a loser, right? And it's like that's where it's safe to be at the front of the crowd, to be playing and beating 24-year-olds. That feels dangerous. So my system is like, let's just pull back from that. So I've got to work through those feelings, right? Because there's a part of me that doesn't feel comfortable being successful. That's at the root of a lot of our blocks. It's scary to shine for a lot of us. So the thing is, hopelessness is an energy. And the reason I don't just call it discouragement and I call it hopelessness is because I want you to start to pinpoint that specific energy. It's like this morass. And it is very much like a drug, right? That's the thing about these parts that are inside of us. And I use that parts language because it's the most convenient. These parts inside of us are kind of like mini drug addictions. We're addicted to our own psychopharmacology. We are so used to these things. And growing up as a kid, I felt extremely hopeless. I felt like there was nothing I could do to please my father. And so, as I mentioned, I kept reliving this, right? So, and I want to describe hopelessness for you, just so we know we're talking about the same thing. Heavy, makes things feel hard. I want to give up. I'm tired. Feels too hard. I just want to lay down and die, right? Okay, so hopefully we're talking about the same thing. So now how do you start to deal with this feeling? If hopelessness is showing up, what I always recommend for people is you start with 5 minutes a day. And what I'm looking for here is this revolution of people who begin to understand the need to do work like this on a daily and a consistent basis, right? Because these feelings and these things can change. We can grow past these things, but only if we recognize them and see them. If we can't name something like discouragement and hopelessness and see it and bring it into consciousness, then we can't ever heal it. So first we have to diagnose it. You have to see, has hopelessness been running your life? It ran mine for a long time, and it's probably the biggest block I had. Now, again, I called it a drug because that feeling is like a narcotic. It's like a barbiturate, right? It's like this heavy weighted blanket that just makes you want to lay down and go to bed. That's like a downer, right? There are other drugs that get us going that are more like amphetamines. This is not. This is a low and slow heroin kind of drug that we're talking about. And so the best way out of this, and what I suggest, is 5 minutes a day of sitting with this feeling. So you do what you can to bring this feeling into your consciousness, right? So you sit there in the morning, and I always recommend a little time of connecting to your deepest inner wisdom first, as setting an anchor, and then going into these more difficult feelings. And so what you want to do is you want to close your eyes. You want to find where in your body that feeling is, that feeling of hopelessness. For me, it's in my chest. It feels like this big, heavy rock in my chest, weighing me down. And I just want to be with that sensation, right? And I want to feel like, okay, so what does it feel? So first, where is it? I always want to locate the feeling in my body. Very important. And then I want to go, what is it? I want to say, what does it feel like? It feels like heaviness. It feels like weight, and tiredness. Okay. And so then what you do is you set a watch for 5 minutes, and you can go longer for sure, but you just tune into that feeling. And then if you want a little extra credit, you can start to talk to it and say, it's okay for you to feel the way that you're feeling, right? You start to essentially befriend this feeling. And you'll see, and I have a community called Unblock Your Brilliance where we teach how to do this. We have a lot of free courses online. So don't be a Weisenheimer. Just go straight down in the description below and sign up for my free community called Unblock Your Brilliance, and access the free classes that are there. Some of it's changing, so you want to hurry because some of the classes are going to be you have to sort of work up to get to them. Right now, they're all free, but that's just for like the next couple of weeks. And you can learn how to do this and how to be with yourself and how to sit with these feelings. And then also, I'm available for private one-on-one consultations to start to identify these blocks and work with them. And we do small small group workshops, which are a different thing. There are all these different ways to tackle learning how to be with these feelings. But it starts with understanding the need. Why do I need to work with these feelings? Because they're not going anywhere. And once you've survived enough trips around the merry-go-round, realizing that you're not escaping this pattern and you can start to see the pattern, that's when you want to break free, right? And that's the whole point of everything I do, is helping people break free from these traumas in the past that absolutely control them today. And they're the things causing your lack of success and you breaking through and you shining the way that you were meant to. So you're sitting there, you're feeling it, you're talking to it. One of the things I like to say is it's okay for you to feel everything you're feeling. That's a really good cue. You're starting to help these feelings feel supported. You can also say, I'm here for you. And the whole idea is you're developing a regulated nervous system that can be with this part of you that's in pain. And that becomes very healing. That's the essence of this healing thing. So if you're having trouble with this all, go down in the description below and book a free one-on-one consultation, and you can get started on learning how to do this for free. Duh. And then if you want to keep going, you can, but there's no obligation to keep going. So check it out. So start to learn how to handle these feelings of discouragement. So in that free community that I talked about, there is a great class in there on how to build habits gently, easy peasy, lemon squeezy style from the very start. And get on a track and do something simple and do it repeatedly and get used to being successful. And then watch out where this discouragement comes in and start sitting with that discouragement and start seeing through the lie of it. And you'll start to make progress towards your goals, because the thing that stops you so often, this discouragement, this hopelessness, you will understand it and you won't fall victim to it. Okay, I hope this helps. Don't forget to like and subscribe while you're here. That helps the channel. It helps it get back to you. It helps it to get to other people. And listen, I'll see you next time. Be well.